Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nilanda, and I'm turning 30. In just a couple of days, I'm starting a new decade. And honestly, I'm excited as 10 years is a long time, so here are 10 lessons I learned in my 20s. And it's because of these lessons that I'm excited for 30. So let's go. In my opinion, this is the most important lesson, period. I'm saying it at the top of the video because I truly believe this is the most important thing. Every other lesson that follows this leads right back here. Value yourself and value your life. I deserve to be a person that I love, and I deserve to live a life that I love. When I recognized that fact and really stepped into that mentality in 2020 after introspection and reflection and a lot of meditation, it just completely changed the way I see myself and the way I see my life and the way I see my place in this world, the universe, all the things. And honestly, it's made me a better person because I feel like I am truly the most authentic version of myself, and I'm living my life in a way that I enjoy every aspect of it as it is right here and right now. And that's the kind of energy I want to take into my 30s, the whole decade and beyond. Relationships are woven throughout our life. It's the one I have with myself, my parents, my friends, my family, etc. And my life is more fulfilling because of those relationships. So of course they're worth the effort. It's spending time with my parents just because, or making sure that I call my nephew at least once a week. And it's reaching out to the friends I've become more distant with because that's what happens when you get older and people move away or you start focusing on yourself and your own endeavors. Of course, relationships are a two-way street, but all it takes to remind someone how important they are to me is to make that move and walk down the street first. I like looking and feeling my best, so that means I need to take care of my body and mind. I don't like being sick, I don't like being bloated, and I don't like being itchy. So as I enter my 30s, I'm doing more of what I can to prevent those feelings. This could be things like having a solid skincare routine, eating healthier overall, and managing my mental health. Sometimes that's journaling or going for a walk, or taking the time to just relax. Listening to what my body and mind actually want and need has been an absolute game changer. In a time where social media has taken up so much of our attention, it's so easy to compare yourself to others. Whether it's celebrities in their mansions with their killer bodies, or people you used to know sharing their announcements for their houses, their weddings, or their babies. I don't have a boyfriend, a house, or a baby, and I'm fine with that. If I've learned anything in my 20s, it's that people are all over the place in their life. You can get your heart broken or feel lost at 25 or 40 or 55. Just because it looks like somebody has their life together doesn't mean they do. Everybody does their own thing in their own time, including you and including me. Of course, other people can inspire and motivate me, but at the end of the day, the only person I'm truly comparing myself to is me. Valuing yourself in your life means knowing when to say no and knowing when to say yes too. You don't have to do the things you don't want to do or that aren't good for you anymore. If you can't take on a commitment, you can be honest about it. If I don't want to stay out until 4 a.m. anymore, I'm not going to. I do what's good for me, and sometimes that means skipping out on events or hangouts so I can stay home and work on videos like this, or lay around all day and watch anime. It ain't none of your business. But on the other hand, saying yes can offer you some wonderful experiences. It could be saying yes to an event where you don't really know anyone else going, but you end up meeting really great people who you make deep connections with. Like getting drinks with strangers in Seoul and having such a great time just talking and vibing with those guys and the people next to us. Or it's spending time with family who are in town for the weekend despite being tired, because you know quality time is rare. I spent a lot of my 20s looking forward to the future, looking for something bigger and better. And listen, I still think something bigger and better is coming for me. Don't you worry about that. But the difference is, now I take the time to appreciate the little things in my life. Taking the time to step back, be in the moment, and appreciate all the little things I have in my life now has really made living my life so much more enjoyable. It's understanding that my parents are getting older and spending more time with them. It's being able to watch my nephew grow up. It's seeing people I care about be happy. It's walking down the street in Seoul as the ginkgo leaves fall and feeling like I'm in a movie. It's being in the crowd of a BTS concert and knowing that I belong and feeling so grateful to be alive and for my life in every shade and color that it is right here, right now. It's harder to make friends as an adult. The ones you had move away or begin their own families. I don't go to school anymore, and I definitely don't go to any random parties. Depending on what kind of company you work for, your work friends can be limited too. But I've been very lucky that in my adult life, especially in the latter half of my 20s, I've made some really great new friends. Through my own network, interest groups, and travel, I've been lucky enough to meet people all over the world from all different walks of life. Maybe it's because I'm a little more extroverted, but I just never thought I'd make as many good friends as I have in my late 20s, and I realized it's not as hard or as intimidating as I once thought. I am chronically plagued by the fact that I have a lot of interests and a lot of hobbies. But as I've gotten older, I haven't put forth enough time towards those interests and hobbies. Or when I do, it's for content, because everything is content. Or it's for a specific reason, like I'm making a gift for somebody, or I'm under a huge time constraint and feel guilty about it. Like, I need to binge watch these 5 seasons of My Hero Academia and then catch up on the new season and then catch up on the manga right now, so then I can go back to living my regular productive life. Or in most cases, it's all 3. I still have to keep reminding myself of this, but I can do things just because they're fun, and I can do them poorly too. I don't need to film everything I do, and I don't need to make it look perfect. Or like I know what I'm doing, because most of the time I don't. I don't need to make a timeline of when a project should be done, and I don't need to put my regular life aside in order to enjoy the things I enjoy. 30 has such an odd connotation to it. There's this feeling of a lingering doom, like our youth is behind us forever, when in actuality, 30 is still really young, and the difference is we have the wisdom that we didn't have in our 20s. You know how there's that question of like, what advice would you give to your younger self? Or that feeling of, I wish I started this sooner? Well, here's the truth of the matter. It doesn't matter what advice I'd give to my younger self, because she wouldn't take it. Even if I told my 20-year-old self to start learning how to play guitar or really look into studying abroad in Asia, she wouldn't do it. The mental, spiritual, emotional state I was in during my 20s wouldn't have allowed me to. But I've done that inner work now, and despite being older, I'm excited to learn new things, because learning has no age limit. I want to dance, I want to sing, I want to learn new languages, I want to learn new sewing techniques, I want to be better at making videos. And I can, especially at 30. Through my self-development practices, I've become more honest with myself about what I want out of life. I have a lot of interests and hobbies that I want to be better at or to learn more about. Honestly, those can become one of my side hustles, or maybe even a main hustle one day. And that's why it's really important to dream out loud. By doing so, you can open doors you never knew existed. You don't know everyone in someone else's network. They could potentially provide you an opportunity or a connection, but they wouldn't be able to if they didn't know what you were looking for. Most people want to help others, but how could someone offer a potential opportunity or connection in a field that you are interested in if you never say that out loud? The worst that can happen is nothing, and that's exactly what does happen when you don't dream and manifest out loud, when you aren't honest and open with yourself and what you want out of life. So what's there to lose? I know the lessons I learned in my 20s will make my 30s even greater. Personal growth and self-development have no limit and have no time constraint. It's a mix of the way I see myself, my life, the universe, and my place in it. And then when they all work together, that's the key. So hopefully some of the lessons I've learned in my 20s is useful to you, whether or not you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. Although I'm still 29 right now, by the time you see this video, I will have already turned 30. So when you see me in the following video, if I have a new kind of glow to me, you'll know why. So I'll see you then. Bye.